So we definitely want to come up with new goals for the new year. We definitely want to do something in the new year 2024. So the first tip on setting effective goals for the new year is to begin by reviewing the previous year's goals. So if you had some goals that you wanted to achieve in 2023, before you start setting goals for 2024, I urge you to look at them. Sit down and reflect on the goals. So by looking on these goals, you're going to identify the ones that you've been able to meet. In your list of the goals that you'd set, tick the ones you've met, rate them even in terms of the percentage of meeting. You've been able to meet 50%. Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back to another video. If you're here for the first time, my name is Nelly, and on this channel I share professional and personal development content to help my viewers or to help my audience improve the quality of their professional life. I also share job search strategies just to help you be able to make your job search journey less of a hassle. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you, and I hope this content has been able to add value to your life. So in today's video, I want to take you guys through a very strategic and successful goal setting process for 2024. And why I say for 2024, because I know this is the time of the year that most of us are reviewing our goals and planning for the next year. So if you're in that category, then I know you'll find this content relatable, just to help you to know what are the things that didn't work in the year 2023, what do you need to do better in 2024, and what are the strategies that are going to get you to what you want to achieve in the year 2024. So without wasting too much time, let's get into the video. So we definitely want to come up with new goals for the new year. We definitely want to do something in the new year 2024. So the first tip on setting effective goals for the new year is to begin by reviewing the previous year's goals. So guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first tip to help you set effective and successful goals for the year 2024 is to begin by reviewing the previous year, the year 2023 goals. So probably if you had goals for 2023, you need to take that list of the goals that you had and begin ticking the ones that you've achieved, the ones that you've not achieved, and this will give you a clear footprint on where you're going to start from. So let's say you had a goal, you had a list of like 10 goals. So I would need you to break them down and even be specific. There are some that you've achieved, maybe let's say 50%. There are some that have been achieved partially, and some have not been achieved or even been attempted. So be very analytical at that point to get deeper and understand which ones have I achieved 50% or 70% or 80%, and which ones have I not tried completely. So if you still value these goals you've not achieved completely, then they should form the next list of your goals for 2024, and they should come at the first in the list. So reviewing the goals also helps you to see how you've performed and to do a deeper self-evaluation. If I didn't meet these goals, these ones I didn't even attempt, then where did I go wrong? It could be we are even having goals that are not relevant to our overall life goals. It could be you'd put goals on the things that you do not even prioritize, the things in this period of review you'll even realize that you didn't need them. So evaluate each and every goal and see their importance. Is it even what you wanted first? So then after reviewing these goals, so you will be able to categorize them, and you'll be able to know the things that you didn't do well and how you're going to forge ahead. The next the next point is to identify your value and priorities. I've touched a bit on this point, maybe in the first point. So after you've come up, you've reviewed your previous goals, and you assess these goals. Do these goals align to my value? Is this really what I want to achieve? Looking at my long-term goals, will these goals help me to get there? Which role will these goals play in achieving my 3 years, 5 years, 10-year plan? If you're not able to answer yes to any goal as you ask these questions, the alignment of these goals that you put for the year 2023 or that you're putting for the year 2024 in your long-term goal, then please remove them from your list, because they'll be totally a waste of time. So after identifying your priorities, what do you prioritize in life, and are these goals aligned to it? Those ones that are not aligned, you'll automatically remove them. Then the ones that are aligned are the ones that remain. If you review your value and your priorities, you'll be able to know, is this goal important to me? What do I want to achieve in the long term? So that is the most important bit again of goal setting. So you're able to, from the onset, you're really very clear on each and every goal that you set. This goal is important because it is going to help me to achieve this long-term goal I want to achieve. I want to get to within this duration. This value is important to me because my strengths are aligned to it. Then also, as you set the goals, you're supposed to be assessing your skills, your weaknesses, your strength. So that will also play hugely in the ability to achieve or to realize this goal. The next, after you've done that evaluation, now come up with a new list of your goals. And guys, I'll say at this point, please do not be afraid to dream big. Dream very big, but of course be realistic, because you understand your strengths, you understand your ability. And as you also come up with this list, you now need to categorize the goals. There are those goals that are personal, that you want to achieve in your personal life, and there are goals that maybe you want to achieve in your professional life. So be able to categorize those goals, whether it is personal, professional, social, spiritual, whatever type of goal it is. And you give each and every goal weight. So let's say you have personal goals, you have professional, you have social, you have spiritual, whichever other category that you have. So now in a percentage of maybe 1 to 100, which percentage do you give them? Maybe I'll say my personal goals are like 50%, and these personal goals will be like maybe to improve my communication skills, and of course I'll come up with what I need to do to work out and improve my health. In terms of my physical health, I want to work out. This is what I want to do. So those are personal goals. When it comes to my professional goals, maybe I want to get a new job, I want to add a new skill. So give each and every goal a weight, and that aligns, that tells you how important is a goal is. And as you give a weight, you will be able to know how much time you'll be able to allocate to each goal. So goal setting and success in this process, you'll realize that it has a lot to do with clarity. Being clear, clarity, and being very specific at the onset. So once you've categorized, assigned each and every goal a weight, then you're now coming up with a very clear, a very clear way, a very clear strategy in terms of the resources you need to allocate them, time that you need to allocate them, and the hows and the whats that you need to do to attain or to realize each and every goal in your list. And after you've come up with a list, now you need to adopt the SMART approach. I've been emphasizing and speaking a lot about being specific. So the reason you need to come up with this approach, because it will also help you to break each and every goal down. So let's say this acronym for SMART, of course, the first S in this acronym will mean specific. Now you're beginning to do what is called, I will call it diagnosis or evaluation of each and every goal. If you're using SMART, let's come to specific. This goal number 1, is it specific? Specific means it is something tangible that you can actually put your hand to. So that is how you use the SMART. Use the SMART, even if you come up with 10 goals, now use the SMART approach to diagnose or to analyze each and every goal. Come to M in this acronym, which means measurable. I said that I wanted to, maybe one of my goals, I'll give an example again, is I want to read 10 books in the year 2024. That is something that is measurable, because if I'm done with book 1, I'll say I've done 1, I've done 2, I've done 3. So are you able to measure the outcome, or are you able to measure the success to the level that you'll be able to say that this is achieved? So if you have that approach by each and every goal, then you'll be able to really understand how you're going to navigate through your goals. Then A in that goal also means attainable. Is it something that you can attain? And this takes me back to evaluating yourself in terms of your ability. You know yourself, you know what you can achieve, you know what you can attain. So is this goal attainable? The goal that you've set for yourself, because we also don't want to end up setting goals that become frustrating, or making a annual goal setting process just a ritual that because the new year is starting, you know what, my friends are setting goals, I have to set goals. This just fuels a lot of frustration. So we want to make it a very realistic process that will be able to say at the end of the year, these are my 10 goals that I set, I've achieved this. And also for personal fulfillment. So you've analyzed and you've seen that these goals are attainable. You come to are they relevant? We already did the previous point, we spoke about goals that are aligned to your personal values, goals that are aligned to the things that you want to achieve in life. Is it relevant to what you want to achieve in life, that goal that is in your list? Then of course, as we come to T, is time bound, giving yourself deadline or timelines. I said I want to read 10 books, for example, by August of the year, or by March. That one, at least by March, I'll sit down with myself and say, I've not done 10 books. So time bound, what is your timeline that each and every goal, the number of goals that you have in that list, each and every goal, you're giving them a timeline that you need to have achieved them. So the next tip is to make your goals visible. Most of goals never see the light of the day, or never even, I think sometimes people even set goals and forget about them because they are set, put somewhere in a notebook, and maybe kept in a bag or put somewhere that you really never access them. So making them visible is putting your goals in a place that you can constantly and frequently see them. So what I see most people do, that the people that I know within my circle that I know do well in goal setting, is they put, for example, putting them in maybe in the small papers, I would say, or putting in somewhere, maybe in your bedroom, or where you sleep, or where you constantly get into in your house. So when you wake up and you see a goal maybe on your wall, then it automatically just triggers your mind that there's something you need to work on. So there's no need of setting goals if you're going to put them in a place that you'll not see them. And if you put them somewhere in a notebook, maybe by December 31st, when you're doing a personal year review, you sit down and you see that notebook and you remember, I had some goals somewhere here. So the first, this is a very important tip, that if it is visible is when you'll be able to see it, and because our mind is designed in a way that we constantly need to be reminded. So when you see it, then you're constantly being reminded. So if you're going to set goals and put them somewhere in a notebook, then there's no even point of setting them in the first place. So also ensuring that your goals are in a place you can see them help you to stay focused, and it actually motivates you to keep on pursuing the goals that you've set. The next step is to come up with an action point. Now you've had these goals, you put them in a place that is visible. So come up with an action point. So the action point is the how you're going to get there, the steps that you're going to take. And I'm going to give you a good example. I've been using the example of maybe reading 10 books within, let me say 10 books. By August, I shall have done 10 books. So this is the goal. The number here is 10. And what I'm going to do is read books. So now you see it is even more specific, and I'm breaking it down. So I need to come up with the how. In this busy schedule, I have work and maybe I have family. When am I going to get time to read the 10 books? So let's say breaking it down and coming up with the steps, like I'll say I'll read a page, or I'll read 1,000 words per day. So I can put it maybe in terms of a page. I can say I can read 5 pages per day, which is attainable. When? Now that is what I'm going to do. Now when? I'll read 5 pages maybe in the morning. So that means if I'm waking up at 5 every day, or I wake up at 5:30, then I'll have to wake up 30 minutes earlier, so I'm able to read the 5 pages. That means if I sleep by 10 p.m., then now I'm going to sleep by 10:30 or 11, and I take the 1 hour to read the 5 pages. Or let's say that now by the end of the month, I shall have finished 1 book. Or in 2 weeks, I'm able to finish 1 book. So it is all about being very specific, trickling down to the exact action you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and it makes your goal, achieving your goal, become very easy. The next tip is to factor in accountability. So how are you going to be accountable for these goals? because the main reason of setting goals is to achieve them. So this is the point, that if you really know that personally I will not be able to keep track, it is good to even talk to someone who is close to you and get an accountability partner. So an accountability partner could be your spouse, could be your best friend, could be your colleague at work, whoever you trust that will hold you accountable. Then this is someone who can hold you accountable. So after you've gotten an accountability partner, then now you go and have a discussion on the goals that you've set with them. So tell them, this is the goals that I've set, this is when I want to achieve them. So their work is to once in a while ask you, from time to time rather, ask you and question you on how have you read. You said you're reading one book this month. So which book is it that you are reading this month? Which page are you? Maybe it is 15th of the month. And which page are you? What have you learned? And all that. So if you have a serious accountability partner, and an accountability partner, I would say maybe should not be someone that you can manipulate. It should be someone who you can listen to. Even maybe your mom or your dad, someone that if they speak, you'll be able to listen. So get an accountability partner. It's important, and I think for me that has really worked for me, especially in other areas of my life. Having an accountability partner, someone who just questions me, ask me, oh, you said you're doing this, where are you? You said you're doing this, what have you done about it? So that honestly really works. So get an accountability partner to be able to work with you through the journey of accomplishing your goals. The next one is continuous tracking. So as we already said, you're not going to set goals and keep them maybe somewhere in a notebook or somewhere in your bedroom, somewhere that you can't even access them. So you need to continuously track. And the reason for tracking is that we are in an ideal world where things change. Maybe you'd say, for example, let me give another example that I'd also given, that you'll be keeping physically fit. You said you'll be going to the gym, working out, and by March or something, by mid-year or 2 months into the year, something happens. Maybe you get into a busy job that you get to travel, that you don't even have time for the gym. So you need to devise another way. Okay, I can't go to the gym physically, but what is another way that I can use to ensure that I keep physically fit? You can decide to work out at home. There are so many tutorials online that you can actually use to work out on yourself and still attain the physical wellness that you wanted to achieve. So being flexible and being able to even change these goals, you realize that I set this one, I said I'm going to read 10 books, but it's really not working. My schedule is not allowing me. Or I said I'm going to read 10 books, but I realize I have so much time. So I'm saying, okay, now I'm going to do 20 in a year, which is possible. So reviewing your goals constantly and being able to be flexible, review the goals, see what is working, what is not working. I said I'm going to eat healthy, but I realized along the way I've not been able to do that. So what do I do? What do I do? So reviewing your goals constantly helps you to really stay on course. See also the things you're doing right, the things you've been able to achieve, and it's really a good way to motivate you to keep on moving on. The last tip is to celebrate yourself, and this is the one thing that really makes you to keep on moving. For instance, if you said you're going to go to the gym and for the better part of your life it had been difficult. If you successfully managed to work out for a week, why not celebrate yourself over the weekend? Or why not celebrate yourself? Because really that is a step. If one of your maybe spiritual goals was to pray 1 hour a day, and you've been struggling with this, if you manage to pray 1 hour a day from Monday to Saturday, it is something honestly which is worth celebrating. So as you celebrate yourself, you're waking up your inner being and telling it that whatever effort that it is putting is being recognized and it's being appreciated. So there's more willingness to take initiative, even on the areas of your life where you're not willing to take initiative. So celebrating yourself, very key point to consider. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you. I hope you've learned how to set your goals, and you're going to set goals, successful goals in the year 2024. You're not going to repeat the same mistakes you made in 2023. And when we meet in December of 2024, you'll probably be ticking everything in that list that you said you shall have achieved. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.